Hey everyone, this is Dave A. Gardner, and you're listening to The Heart of Juliet Jones, fanfiction podcast. This is part 10 of Chasing a Dream, based on the vintage daily comic strip called The Heart of Juliet Jones, with characters and stories originally written by Elliot Kaplan and illustrated by Stan Drake in 1961. The fanfiction story you're hearing today is written by Dave A. Gardner. Welcome back to a story that has the potential to brighten your day with a mix of humor, drama, and a whole lot of heart. In our last thrill-pounding episode, Eve had flown into the Devon pharmacy and announced good news to her friends that she had won over her family to pursue her dream of becoming Miss Teen USA. Now with her dream in sight, she was floating on Cloud 9. Whoa, my Lord. She still had no idea what to do at this point, but her gut was telling her to go forward and chase that first star till morning.
Doesn't even rhyme.
Yeah, it does.
Let's listen in to part 10, I'm Possible. Later that night at the bowling alley, Eve scuttled closer to Shorty on the bench and shared her dream. The sounds of bowling balls rolling down alleys and crashing into pins filled Devon lanes. On a Friday night, each lane was packed with players, mostly students Eve knew from high school, kicking off their weekend with their favorite pastime. It was the 1960s after all, and bowling was just about as fun as it got in the tiny blip on the radar town called Devon. Eve was still hovering on Cloud 9 with wings like a wide-spanned eagle. Then maybe I'll move the whole family to Hollywood, she exclaimed with a thrill in her heart. You know, one of those sprawling ranch-type places with horses and stuff. Dream on, Miss Jones, chuckled Deirdre as she meandered over to lift a bowling ball from the rack. Why not? Eve responded as if in a daydream. Deirdre stepped up with her ball and sent it straight down the middle of the alley. But at the last second, it curved off to the left, plunked into the gutter. Ooh, she remarked in frustration. Am I getting ahead of myself? Eve asked Shorty. Yes, replied Deirdre in a huff and dropping into a seat next to Eve. Oh, you're a big help, Eve said, nudging her. Shorty took another long sip of his iced cold cola. There's nothing wrong with dreaming, Deirdre. Everybody in Devon knows that Eve can do this. The question is, does Eve Jones believe Eve Jones can do this? If you ask me, Deirdre said, dreaming too big sets you up for major disappointment. I mean, you have to just look at me with my bowling. I can dream all day that I'm going to hit a strike, and that stupid ball is still going to end up in the gutter. That's not the kind of encouragement she needs right now, Deirdre, Shorty retorted. Eve's ball is going straight through those pins. I can guarantee it. Well, thanks, Shorty, shouted Eve, giggling and high-fiving her potential boyfriend. Besides, Deirdre, this is my dream. And you know something? Dreams have a certain way of coming true. Eve pulled her knees to her chest, leaned back and closed her eyes. There's plenty of time for disappointment later, she conceded. Now's the time to dream. Yes, it was a long shot, but in the back of her mind, the thought always came back. How could she be disappointed? If there was a chance, it was possible. After all, wasn't it her favorite actress, Audrey Hepburn, who had once said that even the word impossible was spelled, she is possible. Excuse me? Or something like that. And Eve knew it was true. She was possible. Her dream would go all the way. If only they gave her a chance. Meanwhile, the two strangers who had just arrived in Devon were pulling into a parking space outside the Devon Hotel. It was a moderate but clean establishment, and from the outside looked more like a quaint 19th century apartment complex than the kind of luxury hotel they had imagined staying in. They let the convertible sit for a moment as they took in the terribly disappointing scene. A pause ripped through the air and settled where expectation had crashed. With gaping mouths, they stared up at the shack in front of them. "The Ritz, it's not," muttered the younger gentleman behind the wheel. "A Maharaja, you ain't," quipped his older counterpart. Thanks again for joining us, dear listeners. As a reminder, if you're interested in reading more romantic stories by author Dave A. Gardner, be sure to check out the selection of life-changing and inspiring books listed on my website. That website address is authordaveagardner.com. That's authordaveagardner.com. You've listened to the Heart of Juliet Jones fan fiction podcast. Until next time, dear listeners, may joy and peace be yours. And like Juliet, may love always bloom in your heart, like